I love fighting games. It all started way back when I was this dweeb in high school. That was over 10 years ago. Every step I take is closer and closer to my grave. My back's gonna start hurting for no reason out of nowhere. I was bored out of my mind in my business law class when a video popped up on my YouTube recommended. It was a professional match of Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now, I'd been playing the Smash game since I was a kid, but somehow the pro scene had just completely avoided me. And honestly, I didn't know anything about esports at all. So, intrigued of course, I click on the video. And oh my god.
Still alive! Oh my goodness, and this, what's he gonna do? Oh, he sends him the wrong way.
Whoa, the up, he was so smart. Shine out his shield. Oh! Left the GIs horribly.
Oh, and this is
oh my god! The crowd is going nuts, and that is because everyone in the room knew that Leffen had the momentum, he had the positioning, he had the percent, he had everything in that set, and Mango stole it back.
Now, if you're like how I was then, you probably have no idea what the hell you just watched, but the speed, Bobby Scar's scream, the energy in that room, I mean, it felt like that crowd just watched Jesus Christ of Nazareth resurrect on that stage. This immediately led me down the rabbit hole of learning everything I could about Smash. I learned about the players, the storylines, I even watched the Smash Brothers documentary. And of course, this leads me down a deeper rabbit hole of learning games from the fighting game community like Marvel vs. Capcom, Street Fighter, Tekken, the list goes on. I just loved how competitive everything was. Something about getting the best players in the world, throwing them in a room, and just seeing who the best of the best of the best is. But that was almost 10 years ago, and I gotta be honest, I've never had any friends that have been into fighting games. And I get it, fighting games are hard, having to learn neutral, and even sometimes learning combos is equivalent to studying hieroglyphics. Imagine being new to fighting games and just being like, why is there a star there? What better way to get my friends who aren't into fighting games than by giving them a week and then throwing them in a tournament setting? That'll go great, right? Would somebody come in being a training mode demon with the most optimal of combos, or would they just pick corny characters and spam buttons and hope for the best? So with all this in mind, it was finally time to lock it in and pick a game, and I decided on
Ultra Street Fighter 4!
I wanted a game that was cheap, a game with a good art style, so even if you're getting your ass beat, it doesn't feel as bad. A game that had quite a lot of characters, so everybody could express themselves how they wanted to. And last but not least, I just didn't want to make them have to buy Street Fighter V. Finally, with everything in place, it's time to start the tournament. So, let's talk about the seeding. The only thing I really had to go off of was the friendlies that we played before the tournament to make sure that everything worked. So, starting with the first seed, we've got Josh. Josh doesn't have a lot of fighting game experience, but he has some, so that automatically makes him first seed. We've got Logan at second seed, also not a lot of fighting game experience, but that's a little bit, so hey, second seed. At third seed, we've got Zach, whose only fighting game experience is Smash, and traditional fighters are quite a bit different, so, you know, third seed. And last but not least, we've got Carson at fourth seed. Carson is unfortunately like that meme of Patrick sleeping that just says when a game don't got a gun or a ball in it. It's really hard to get him to play anything that isn't a shooter, let alone a fighting game. So, unfortunately, fourth seed. So with that out of the way, let's just jump into the first match. For our first match, we've got Josh versus Carson, the first seed versus the fourth seed. A little bit of backstory, when we played friendlies on Saturday before the tournament to just test everything out, Carson picked Abel, and I'm not gonna lie, he was actually taking rounds, taking matches, and a lot of us went, uh-oh, did we underestimate Carson? But with an even bigger surprise up his sleeve, he said that he had a secret character that he wasn't gonna play until the day of the tournament. And now it was finally time for that secret character to be revealed. I honestly can't tell you how excited I was. So let's find out who it is. We've got Josh in the E Honda, and Carson picks Ryu. His super secret pick was Ryu. The guy from the box art, the most basic character. Okay. But maybe I'm being too pessimistic. Maybe he's a Ryu main in his blood. Maybe he's about to show me something I've never seen before. So let's go ahead and find out. Yeah, I felt like I couldn't really show much from that first game, or else I'd have to put this video on liveleak.com, so. Jumping into the second game, Josh actually almost nets himself a perfect in the first round, but gets hit twice right before it's over. In round 2, Carson actually gets knocked down to 1 HP, and instead of describing it, I'm just gonna let this play out.
Full stage missile. Oh no. Josh, stop. He's already dead. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, hold up. It's not over until it's over. My man is mashing buttons. Oh, tech those, please, Josh. Crazy.
He's gonna do a missile or something. Yep, there you go. It felt like Carson was finally starting to wake up in that last round, but unfortunately, it was a tad bit too late. Carson gets knocked down to the losers bracket after going 0-2. All right, it's time to jump into our next match. We've got Logan, the 2nd seed, versus Zach, the 3rd seed. Coming into this tournament, Logan was going to play Guile, but on the day of the tournament, he decided to switch to... So my tournament consists of 2 Ryus, a Ryu-like, and an E-Honda. Let's just jump into the match. Game 1, and it's looking like our players are actually pretty evenly matched. I also just thought it was funny that it's kind of hard for new players to do Hadoukens, but they do fireballs at the same time here. Even though it's close, Logan secures round 1. Logan seems to get a bit more confident here in the 2nd round and takes the round pretty handedly. And with that, Logan locks down game 1. Let's see if Zach can lock in or if it's going to be another 2-0 in the tournament. Honestly, watching this back, it's kind of insane how close these two are in level, but somehow Logan always seems to edge it out in the end. These two, for some reason, just seem to be in sync every once in a while. Oh my god, Zach's the first person to use his Ultra, and it whiffs, but I still respect the attempt. Despite some close games, Logan does tap it in for a solid 2-0, continuing himself in the winner's bracket and sending Zach down to losers. Let's go and tap in real quick and see what Logan had to say after the game.
Bro, my heart, as soon as we started and I got deaf and I was like, oh my god.
Last night, Logan started training as Guile, and then at some point he kind of stops and he just goes, dude, I think I might have stage fright. He like genuinely had a panic attack for a second. Turns out, even in a tournament with just 4 friends, things can still get nerve-wracking. Let's go and get caught up on the standings right quick. Since Josh and Logan won their sets, they move on in winners. Meanwhile, Carson and Zach are now in losers, with their next set being loser goes home. And you know I love sending people home, so let's go and jump into our loser set to see who's getting the hell out of here. Carson showed up with an outfit change. Maybe he's saying that he's here to actually play this time. Carson getting hit with 3 sweeps back to back to back seems like a huge vision of how this set's gonna go. Zach connects the EX to an air jab here, and I couldn't be more proud. I know Carson's ass did not mean to do this, but it was still cool. Although it was a bit scrappy, Zach locks in game 1. Thought it was funny that they both just started whiffing and then each took a moment to reflect. I'm not gonna lie, Zach was having some good ideas here and there and hitting some stuff that I was kind of impressed by. And with that, Zach takes it with a swift 2-0, sending Carson packing, unfortunately, in 4th place without having won a single round in the tournament. Let's go ahead and check in with Zach real quick to see how he feels about that victory. Zach, how do you feel about?
I feel good. I love the
All right, thank you for that, Zach. And now we're jumping into what should be one of the most heated matches in the tournament. Josh versus Logan. 1st seed versus 2nd seed. You can immediately see the respect these two have for each other. We're getting some EX moves in here, which I love to see. Hit his ass with the stomp, god damn. Kind of wanted to let this play out because the 2 weaknesses of everybody in this tournament has been grabs and sweeps. Despite some very close rounds, Josh does end up taking game 1. Logan's connection unfortunately wasn't the best at the time, so you're gonna see some sweater weather here and there. Just like Logan was with Zach, no matter how close these rounds are, Josh just seems to clutch it up in the end. I unfortunately felt this grab coming in my soul. Pause. You can just see every round going back and forth, back and forth. Despite having some of the closest rounds we've seen in the tournament thus far, Josh does win 2-0 to move on to Grand Finals, sending Logan down to the loser's bracket to fight for his tournament life against Zach. And Zach throws out another Ultra, and this time, it hits. It really felt like it didn't do that much damage, but at least it hit. Their matches were unfortunately really laggy, so you're gonna see some stutter here and there. I had to go back and check. This is actually the first time in the entire tournament that it's been 1 round to 1 round. A lot of firsts this set. Zach and Logan have now made it so it wasn't a 2-0. It is now 1-1, 1 game left to see who goes home. Despite a very close set, Logan does take it 2-1 to move on to Grand Finals, sending Zach home in 3rd place. Since it's Grand Finals, we are doing best of 5, meaning the players have to win 3 out of the 5 matches to secure the set. And in case you don't know how double elimination works in Grand Finals, since Josh hasn't lost a single set in the entire tournament, if he wins, the tournament is over and he's the victor. But if Logan wins, the bracket is reset and they do another best of 5 to see who actually is the champion. And so we're finally here. Grand Finals, Josh versus Logan, the 1st seed versus the 2nd seed. Feeling like how it was meant to be. Will Josh go through and sweep the entire tournament without losing a single game, or will losers run Logan make a statement and take the crown for himself? Logan locks in game 1. And to fire back, Josh takes game 2. Uh-oh, with an air-to-air, Josh takes game 3. If Josh wins here, the tournament is over. Logan fights back to tie it up 2-2. This game decides whether Josh wins the tournament or Logan resets and we get another best of 5. To make it as close as possible, Logan ties it up 1 round to 1 round. And Logan does it. He secures game 5 to reset the bracket for another best of 5 for his chance to win the tournament. You couldn't ask for anything better out of a tournament. We're hopping into the final set to figure out who the victor is. Has Logan shown that this is his tournament, or will Josh adapt, wake up, and take the tournament for himself? Josh starts the reset off strong, taking game 1. Josh continuing his stampede and taking game 2 to go up 2-0 in the reset. Logan saying he's not going out without a fight, taking his first game to go 1-2 against Josh. I wanted to leave this round in because, oh my god, does it get close. And with that, Josh takes game 4 to go 3-1 against Logan, winning himself the entire tournament and the prize money. Congratulations to Josh. Let's see what he has to say after the game.
I'll be honest, Logan and I were really feeling each other out that whole fucking double set, man.
That was...
Gameplay was changing every fucking round, and I loved every minute of it, man.
We got a game 5 before the reset, almost a game 5 after the reset.
Yeah, after.
Here's a look at the full bracket at the end, as well as the final results for the entire tournament. I want to thank Josh, Logan, Zach, and Carson for participating. I want to thank you for watching, and who knows, maybe I'll do the next tournament we did, the Halo tournament, faster than 3 years from now. Oh yeah.